Republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Reed, the call vote, please. Trustee Strasburger here, trustee Diatley,
Here.
trustee McGuire here, trustee Hawk,
Here.
trustee Cannelli,
Here.
trustee Thomas here. Thank you. And we had two meetings we've had two meetings, a regular board meeting July 7th and special board meeting July 11th. Can I have a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes in July 7th? I'll move. Second. Moved by McGuire, seconded by Schatzberger. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion passes. And I have a motion to approve the special board meeting minutes from July 11th, 2025. I'll move.
Second.
Moved by Thomas, seconded by Diatley. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. All in favor, the motion passes. We move on to item 5, the president's report. I have asked our former trustee, Mr. Harney, to read the civility pledge, please.
In the interest of civility, I pledge to promote civility by listening, being respectful of others, acknowledging that we are all striving to support and improve our community, and understanding that we each may have different ideas for achieving that objective.
Thank you. Are you enjoying retirement? Oh. All right, next on. Are you enjoying your retirement, trustee?
Somewhat.
Okay. All right, moving on to section 5B, really, so all the rest of these, I just wrote it all up together just to be organized to get through it, so I'll just follow in sync. Good evening, trustees, staff, and residents. I want to recognize the dedication that each of you has brought and continues to bring to Sleepy Hollow. Moreover, I want to share some key updates on our policies and procedures, as well as reaffirm our shared commitment to the rules and values that keep our government transparent, ethical, and accountable. With respect to the Illinois Civility Pledge that was just read, this is not just for village officials and staff. Our decision, the board and mine, to recite the Illinois Civility Pledge at each regular board meeting signals more than just a promise among and from the board members. It's an invitation for every resident to reflect on how civility shapes our daily interactions. I encourage our community to read the words of this pledge and consider how each of us can foster respectful dialogue, whether at the dinner table, in a neighborhood group, among neighbors while discussing village business, or during a public meeting. Moreover, civility goes beyond niceness and cordial behavior. It also depends on respectful dialogue and accurate information. If baseless assertions and aspersions continue against village officials and/or staff and village business, we will begin fact-checking statements made during and throughout the meetings. With respect to code of conduct and upholding the letter and spirit of the law, the last board, we passed a code of conduct under President Stephen Pickett. And I deeply appreciate those who have gone above and beyond in upholding our code of conduct. And particularly to those of you who have shown moments of ambiguity in applying our policies, I invite you to take this opportunity to recommit, learn, and strengthen the public trust that we all strive for. Our code of conduct, that's ordinance 1, section 1-15, and our board and staff policies, which you'll find under the administrator ordinance, those are sections F, G, and H, are not mere formalities. They articulate the foundations of fair governance. Public interest must prevail over private gain. Every decision that you make must serve the common good of Sleepy Hollow, not personal or private interests. Thank you to those who have consistently asked who benefits and how. What are other factors to consider? And I know we can, but should we? These are all important questions to ask before casting a vote, following up on residents' requests, or pursuing suggestions. Just because we can doesn't mean that we should do something. Respectful discourse. Debate is healthy, and it is vital in our village process. But we must never cross the line into personal attacks. Let's channel our passion into ideas and policy, not into questioning one another's character. I have an open door policy and will meet with anyone in a respectful, civil manner to discuss village business, questions, or concerns. You can drop by any Wednesday from 12 to 2 at Village Hall, or simply message me and we can set up an appointment. Process and confidentiality. We have started engaging in executive sessions, in which case there are degrees of confidentiality and privilege. This is not to keep the residents out of the conversation or to avoid transparency, but some decisions made by the village do need to be taken in a private and confidential manner. Following our established rules of order and safeguarding confidential information protects both our community and the individuals who rely on us to be discreet and deliberate. Just because we're privy to information does not mean that it is ours to share with others. It is a two-way street, and it is a lot easier to lose trust than to build it. Clarifying roles as we are getting closer to embarking on having an administrator. Trustee, so between liaison, staff, boards, and media. Trustee liaisons. As department liaisons, your role is to observe and report back, not to direct staff or assume any administrative duties. Moreover, any ideas or suggestions that you have must go to the respective trustee liaison or department head. In that regard, where it is not under your purview, treat it just like you're a resident, approach the trustee or the administrator or the department head so they can take the idea and move forward. Now, if you believe that you're arbitrarily being ignored or delayed, then come to the clerk, the administrator, or myself to see if it's a matter that's timely. It may not be timely, or it may not be right. May not be right now. With respect to the relationship with the staff, please continue to bring concerns about staff performance. In this case, you'll bring them directly to the village administrator, Eugene, now. It's no longer to the village president. Boards, commissions, and committees. These are advisory boards. We are now starting to fill out our commissions and our committees. These are our neighbors and our residences, but they were not elected by the village. So they're an advisory position. That also means they're limited to OMA and FOIA as we are, but we must respect that they have a duty on their committees and do not lobby them for a decision one way or another. Treat it just as you would with a board meeting. You reach out to the liaison or the head. As for media engagement, that's newspapers and press and social media. To be clear, the village president is the official spokesperson of the village. When you speak to the press or social media, please be clear if you're offering a personal viewpoint. Indeed, because there has been some confusion on the matter, moving forward, I would like us to stipulate that we state, in my opinion, as a personal resident, when addressing anything on social media that can be construed as a comment on the village's goings-on. This will avoid resident confusion and misinterpreting personal rather than official village communications. Enforcement, investigation, and consequences. We're still within code of conduct. It's just wrapping up. For those of you who haven't been on the board before, when allegations of misconduct arise, the process is straightforward. You submit a written complaint to the village president, or if it involves me, you submit a written complaint to the village clerk. An impartial investigation will follow, and if a violation is confirmed, penalties will range up from a formal censure. Penalties can range up to a formal censure by at least 5 fellow corporate authorities, which are the trustees. Please have confidence that this framework exists to protect our integrity, not to punish honest mistakes. My pledge is to apply these rules fairly and consistently, but we also need to do our part in order to uphold them and honor the oaths that we've taken to serve the village. Moving on more to policies and procedures, streamlined agenda process to ensure fairness, transparency, and adequate review. All agenda items must be submitted in writing, preferably by email, to the village president, the village administrator, and the village clerk by noon on Wednesdays. We send out a draft agenda to the department heads before sending it out on Friday to the rest of the trustees and ideally publishing by Friday. So having any proposals by noon on Wednesday will help get us set up so that we have things out in a more timely manner, less rushed over the weekends. We'll maintain this procedure of copying all 3 of us for about at least for the next 6 months till the end of the year, just while Eugene and I get all of our ducks in a row and we know everything that's going on between different sides. Actually, that's my next part. Short-term redundancy in our processes will create a lasting safety net. By keeping the president's office, administrator, and clerk informed, we guarantee that the right hand knows what the left hand is doing. Please note, as trustees, do not contact the village attorney, engineer, or building official directly. This is not to say that you can't reach out to them and get their advice, but they are hourly waged, or they do charge by the hour. And we would prefer that you route any legal, technical, or permitting questions between Eugene and myself. That way we can conserve taxpayer dollars and respect our experts' time. Almost done, guys. Clarifying roles with village administrator appointment. During the campaign, I pledged to appoint Eugene Van, our finance director, as village administrator. After speaking with mayors and managers and administrators across Illinois and assessing our community's needs, I remain confident that Eugene's institutional knowledge, financial expertise, and steady leadership make him the ideal choice. He's well respected by the village board, staff, and residents. Indeed, in the few months that I've been in office, there have been countless times where I've just taken a moment and stepped aside so he can wrap up. He has police officers, residents, contractors, everybody's talking to him, and it's always cordial, enjoyable conversations. He always has a warm smile and a calm demeanor, and he really answers with a no, but rather this is where we are in the village. Let's see what we can do to achieve what you want to accomplish. In addition to his accomplished work and educational experience in finance and with the Chicago Police Department, in the 4 short years he has been here with Sleepy Hollow, he has established a highly respected reputation among local mayors, administrators, developers, businesses, and political officials. I cannot begin to stress to you, the residents and the board, just how fortunate we are to have his dedication, decorum, and wisdom guiding our operations. I look forward to our vote later this evening. Thank you. And lastly, I'd like to welcome our new PZ&C commissioners and their new perspectives. Last week at our special meeting, we finished up some deliberation on Planning and Zoning Commission commissioners. We had more candidates than slots available, which was exciting because we rarely have enough people to fill the slots. And we selected 2 at the moment, and that's Jeff Torrens. He lives over on Hilltop. He's one of our newest residents. He's been here only for about 6 months. And he's a landscape architect. And then one of our longer term residents, a lifelong resident or nearly, Kyle Meng, who's an airplane mechanic. And I'm really curious to see that both of their occupational perspectives come into play with the PZC Commission. There was inquiries about food trucks at the last regular meeting. We have looked into it. Our discussion is underway. We're exploring looking into a temporary licensing program so that we can accommodate some of our residents over the summertime while the season is still available. And then we can look at a more permanent solution if we continue on with more food trucks moving forward. Likely they will be designated to a specific public area for operation and probably coordinated with service club events or neighborhood block parties. So that there's some waivers there that have some coverage. That will be discussed a little bit later with the village attorney's report. My closing thoughts. Thank you to those who have already set a very high bar. Your integrity lights our path. And to those of you ready for a fresh start, tonight is my invitation to recommit. Let us each uphold acting in public interest above all else, treating colleagues, staff, and residents with respect, following our processes and protecting confidential information, using public resources solely for public purposes, and clearly distinguishing personal views from official positions. Every step we take from the civility pledge to our internal procedures strengthens Sleepy Hollow's promise of ethical and accountable government. I encourage you to join me in this endeavor. Thank you. Do we have a clerk's report?
Just a reminder for trustees to get their OMA and FOIA trainings done by the end of the month. If you need to resend the email with the link again.
Yeah, I would like you to resend it because I've logged in, I have a login, I get to it and then it just stops.
Yeah.
It says
And then the same thing.
you hit a thing that says verify, send, push, and you hit that, so it just sits there and does nothing.
I had an issue when I did mine, but I finally got it through, so I can show you, because it is a little tricky, the website. I did complete both of mine today, so it's fresh in my mind, I
Yeah.
can show you afterwards.
Was that the only thing, or was it the state site or IML site?
State. That's a state site.
Because IML offers the training too, and I had 0 problems.
Yeah, if we
I
get
ended
that-
up using mine through the IML, so.
Can you send us that one?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to Planning and Zoning Commissioner report, Barb.
Thank you, Madam President. The Planning and Zoning Commission had its
July 14th, meeting, I would recommend to you as the village board approval of the signs requested for 1053 West Main Street, subject to the sign meeting the 7% coverage. They had not provided the appropriate measurements in order to determine that. On Friday, I received the information and they're almost double it at a little over 13%. So they've been asked to downsize their sign. On the table, there are 3 different sets. The kind of teal and blue is the color of the monument sign panels that go in. And then the black ones are the components of the wall sign. And they're going to be using an interesting product that's perforated. So in the daylight, it'll look black, but at nighttime, when the lights are put on, it'll come through as white, match the lettering on the rest of it. So the company provided those samples. So I was just trying to give you folks an opportunity for those products. They do meet the code as far as the building and electrical codes. So I would ask that you approve the sign subject to them meeting the maximum 7% for the wall sign. The monument sign is not a problem at all. Any questions?
The picture that we have is the 13%.
Yes, sir.
We're cutting that in half.
Well, they're working on it. They asked today if they could get a variance, then I said they have the right to ask for it, but I doubted it would pass since it's almost double standard.
Sure.
And it's not it's of their own doing, not a hardship.
So is it bigger? I'm looking at this. It's what they've sent here is the double
Correct,
size.
yes.
Did they say why they needed it double size?
No. This was what they came in with originally, and because they weren't giving me the right measurements, even though I gave them a copy of the sign code and I asked for it 3 times, finally I was able to get the information properly. And so that's when it calculated out as being the 13.449%. It actually goes out further decimals, but
The other signs that are on the front of that building are all within
yes, sir.
our guideline.
Yes. As you can see, it definitely oversizes what's on the Dunkin' sign.
Is the AutoZone?
The AutoZone, remember, has a much larger frontage because they have basically 3 units
Right,
compared to
this one.
individual unit.
Okay. So that's why this unit is smaller than,
Yes. So when you calculate out the 7% for that much larger facade for AutoZone, that's why they can have the larger letters.
Do we have a reasonable expectation that if we vote for it with approval of reducing it by the 7%, that they'll actually reduce it?
They won't get a permit if they don't.
Okay, I'm just making
Yeah,
sure.
no,
I wasn't sure if they was
that's-
gonna put it up and
that's why-
try and.
No, that's why I'm asking for that caveat that they must meet the 7% in order to issue the permit. So,
This is just a thought on this. So just across the street, I think it's Lifezone 360, maybe even the medical facility that's there. They have probably a 20-foot sign, light up. Just putting it out there, if they want a bigger sign, just across the street, there's a giant sign. Do we want to limit them if they ask for a variance? I mean, it's not like it's not in the neighborhood, it's on 72.
but that's the West Dundee code.
No, I know, but
It's so
that's my
close.
point is comparatively, our signs are much smaller. If they get to have a big one and it's just a block away and there's a giant one that lights up. My thought process is if they want a bigger one, is it gonna affect our daily lives?
they haven't applied for that. They just voiced the question, and it would have to go through the whole process of asking for variance. And again, because state laws that you cannot grant a variance unless it's a hardship. They'd have to prove up that somehow this wasn't a hardship of their own making. So, and Mr. Schuster can also weigh in on this if he wishes. I know that the Planning and Zoning Commission has been working on the sign code to change it, but they did not want to increase the signs that dramatically. They were looking at a slight increase from the 7%, but not almost double.
And also with all the businesses that already have their signs within
Correct.
those restrictions.
Correct.
I think it changes the
David.
situation if you start allowing, something else, I mean, then when we open the door for Dunkin' Donuts to come back and want something similar. Are they already leasing that spot?
Yes, it's a rebrand. So my understanding, it's still broad, but they are renaming it. At least that's what's
Okay,
been mentioned.
yeah, I would say let's stay with the 7%.
We have a motion on the table. Would anybody care to make a motion?
What's the motion?
The motion is to approve. A motion to approve the signs as requested for 1053 West Main Street, subject to the sign meeting the 7% coverage restrictions in our ordinance.
Motion to move.
To Schatzberger moved. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Canali seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those, let's see, this would be on a variance, so it's the.
I think.
All those in favor- Oh, roll call vote, please.
Trustee McGuire,
Aye.
trustee Thomas.
Aye.
Trustee Hawk,
Aye.
trustee Schatzberger,
Aye.
trustee Diatley,
Aye.
trustee Zeller.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Anything else from you, Barb?
No.
Thank you. Actually, we have had some inquiries, and I know I spoke to you recently about this, but if you can just address the board and the public about 1001 West Main. From my standpoint, we did just release some documents that were held up with a FOIA and a copyright request, and that was about 2 weeks ago. But we have not had any updates. Have you had anything more?
The last I heard, they were hoping to come in with plans in about a week, and that was over a month ago.
We'll follow up with them this week then. Yeah.
So they had to get new structural engineers, and I presume that it's some coordination between the new structural engineers and their architect, which is what's been going on of late.
Thank you. Sorry, put you on the spot on that one.
Not a problem.
All right, attorney's report, Attorney Schuster.
I have no report, but I urge you to mention food truck. Would you like some further discussion?
Some further discussion, please.
Okay. I did share some notes with the village president about mobile food vendors or food trucks. And I think the copy's been distributed to you all. If you have any questions about it, my general opinion is that given the circumstances right now that there's inquiry about a food truck for the community market. There's maybe another one for block party. Those should be at least registered or licensed, I think. The police department would, I'm sure, appreciate the basic contact information and identity and location and dates and times that could be corralled by a registration or licensing process. But if in fact this is going to be a longer term situation, it should be addressed in the zoning regulations, which are under review generally now, to add regulations there as to when and where these trucks could operate. You certainly don't want them freely casting about the village for a spot to pull over, like the little ice cream trucks. The little pads. So there should be an ordinance prepared to amend the village code, at least to provide for some licensing and registration and consideration of whether there should be a fee attached to that.
Yeah, I know that in speaking with Barb after last meeting, we had some limitations on whether or not we could turn around a food truck quickly enough in order to accommodate food requests. I think this is a good way for us to try it out and kind of have a pilot program, see how it works. And primarily have it for service club events or block parties. And I kind of figured it'd be through the end of the season. So let's say I was thinking to the end of September. So September 30th would be the last day. And please, I mean, maybe goes to Halloween
Yeah.
I
I
was
mean,
just gonna say extend it through October,
through October.
because people are still having block parties. then.
Right.
yeah, and Halloween's a pretty big event in
Mhm.
Sleepy Hollow, you know,
Right.
good thing.
That raises the question, we would be allowing food trucks at then for the service club bonfire party that would open it up to if there were Halloween block parties, they would probably potentially be allowed to have food trucks, so which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing, I just
No.
it was more than what we were just talking about then. Also, we would have Labor Day within that time span. So I think this could be a good experiment for us to try out. Does anybody does anybody think there should be stipulations as to how many food trucks are allowed within the village at one time? And can we agree on specific areas, either at,
Well, if somebody's having a block party, I don't think they should. Be
There
allowed,
should be
like-
7 or 8 like
Right,
that.
like, I would say like
Two or
one or
three.
two, two
Yeah.
of the most, I would say,
Say you have a food and then like the Kona ice.
yeah,
So
so
they-
two, because you don't wanna block, I mean, I know that the streets are blocked and people are really good about making sure that they aren't blocking traffic and there's people can walk and stuff like that, so there's no issues that way. But I think two would be appropriate, that's.
But say for the farmer's market is too few.
what if we
Yeah.
stipulate two for the block parties and 1 to 5 for the service
four
club
or five
sanctioned
for-
events?
Right.
Or separated out, residential versus, public.
Personally.
Yeah, I like that idea.
That's good.
Um,
One event. Community events, yeah.
I mean, we have some general noise violations and such, or noise ordinances for the village. I assume that those would be the same, you guys would be on board with the same noise violations for the times that food trucks can operate, or we just want to?
10 PM. Is that what it is? 10 PM?
I don't know.
It's like certain decibels. Till 10 PM, they
Yes.
say, yeah.
Barb, are you familiar with what the time is for the decibels? I know I'm putting you guys on this, don't worry. Okay.
There's rules in the book.
Yeah, well, okay, so it looks like we're looking towards going through the end of October. With designating between residential versus public food. Truck mobile entities and with a stipulation of no more than 2 for residential and. No more than 5 for public ones.
Would you almost stipulate no, audible attracting things, like the ice cream?
But like, no,
Yeah. The ice cream trucks have, so.
No. I mean, if you're going to the festivity anyways, and you're already going to the block
Right,
parties,
so
you're
you
not
just-
really drawing people
don't
in
need-
for it.
But you just don't want.
We don't want an ice cream truck driving through at 3 PM.
Right,
What was the last?
you just don't want them, playing that
Yeah.
kind of a thing while they're sitting there,
Anybody object to saying no music or
audible,
audible stuff? You can always have your own entertainment for your parties. All right, well, we'll work on drafting up some of a licensing thing for that
Next meeting.
before the next meeting. If you have any further ideas or things that pop up in your mind, please send them to Eugene, myself, and Jenny right away, so that we, Clerk Reed, so we can get that to Mark and get that squared away for the next meeting. Thank you. Anything else?
No, go ahead.
All right. Engineer report. We do not have Jeff here.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, you.
I don't know why my video is off for some reason. You guys shut it off, but anyways. So in your board packet there's two items. One is discussion on approval uh, for the, uh, approval of the 2025 Sleepy Hollow Street Program. The bid opening was for July 11th on that. We had a total of 6 bidders and they range anywhere from about 135,000 up to about $217,000. The low bidder was Schroeder Asphalt Services from Huntley in the amount of $135,193.15. They have done work for the village in the past, satisfactory. You can see that it's actually below our estimated cost. This original budget for this year's program was $145,000, and that was going to be paid through NFT funds. So I need for the board to discuss and approve the low bid to Schroeder Asphalt Services.
Do I have a motion on the table? Do I have a motion to approve a motion to award the 2025 Sleepy Hollow Street Program to the engineer's recommendation, Schroeder Asphalt Services, in the amount of $135,193.15.
So
Second.
Moved by Kennelly, seconded by Thomas. Any questions, comments, discussion?
Quick question, this is strictly for Sleepy Hollow Road, or this is all of the roads within the village that are in need of repair?
Yeah, there's a list. It is currently Willow Road from Hazel up to the West Endie border. It is Saddle Club entrance off of Randall Road. It is Daniel Court right at the end, and just various patching throughout the village also.
and Sycamore.
Oh yeah, and Sycamore, yes.
Okay.
From Hillcrest all the way up to kind of where that turnaround area is, just a little bit past that.
And I had a question, when we get these bids, sometimes I notice which things are particularly different or why there's a notable difference, and I've noticed just their traffic control and protection is half of what you estimated. Is there anything that you can advise us as to why? they decided-
So on traffic control that is a lump sum item and it is basically guaranteed money. So no matter what they're going to get that amount. And so what a lot of contractors do is put some of their money in towards that, even though they're going to be providing all the same traffic control. Basically, as they're still required to do all that traffic control, but that's kind of where you see kind of the differences. Also, some of those contractors they don't have like barricades, lights or anything like that. And so they actually have to rent them and get a subcontractor in order to actually do that. So that kind of drives up the cost too. And traffic control is quite costly.
Thank you. All right, no further comments, questions, or discussion? Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Schaffberger,
I move. I'm sorry.
So this is the motion, this is to award the 2025 Sleepy Hollow Street
Yes,
Program to that company, Schroeder
Thomas
Asphalt.
Downs. Trustee Thomas,
Yes.
trustee McGuire,
Aye.
trustee Hall,
Aye.
trustee Diatley,
Aye.
trustee Connelly.
Aye.
All right, motion passes, thank you. Or all affirmative, motion passes. Now we're moving on to the approval of motion to authorize the village president and clerk. Which that's a question, I suppose we don't have an administrator yet. Authorize the village president and clerk to execute the contracts, documents, and all other forms required during the course of the project.
So moved.
Second.
That was Hoff or Hoff and Thomas. Moved by Hoff, seconded by Thomas. Any comments, questions, or discussion? If we approve this motion, and then we also approve the village administrator later, who wouldn't then enter under a contract, would it just transition or should we change the motion?
Would not automatically transition.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes. I did not list the administrator on the agenda. Is that a substantive change that we could add to the motion at this time?
No, I think you could ask for an amended motion to include him as a signatory for the document.
In that case, who moved? That was Powell. Bill, would you amend the motion to include village administrator with the village president and clerk in executing the contract?
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a
Second.
Thank you both. All right, any comments, questions, or discussion on this motion to authorize us to enter a contract with Schroeder Asphalt? All right, roll. Actually, all those in favor, say aye.
I,
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you all. Jeff, anything else from the engineering report?
Just to give you a heads up from, you'll see in the list, the bid tab that's on there is asphalt prices are getting higher and higher. There's a couple of still contractors who actually own their own plants that are actually cheaper in there, but just to give you a heads up is it's looking towards next year that prices are going to be a little bit higher, so which means a little bit less work on street programs. So
Thank you, Jeff.
that is it.
All right, on to Director Van with the finance report, please.
Request for approval of the warrants in the amount of $135,604.05.
so moved.
Moved by Thomas, seconded by Schatzberger. To approve the warrants in the amount of $135,604.05. Do you have any comments, questions, or discussion from the board? Hearing none, can I have a roll call vote?
Trustee Hall,
Aye.
trustee Cannelly,
Aye.
trustee Diatley,
Aye.
trustee Thomas.
Aye.
Trustee McGuire,
I,
trustee Schatzberger.
I,
All affirmative, motion passed, no negative, motion passes. Thank you. And
Second item is that there has been a longstanding policy on the use of the soccer field. We've had a group use that field for longer than I've been here. However, we have restrictions on the playing time that's allowed. And we have a request by the group that uses our soccer field to do a special training on Saturday mornings, I believe. We had the gentleman here who was making the request. Did you want to have him address?
yes, please.
Mr. Gatto?
Yeah, my name's Dan Goddard. Lived in Sleepy Hollow for about 15 years, and I'm part of Fox Valley Byron Soccer Club. We've been, what Eugene had said, we've been renting Sabatino. I've been part of the club for 10 years. We've been doing it a little bit longer than that. The Illinois Youth Soccer Association reached out to me on a referee training class for kids 13 to 17. And they do it, it is an in-person thing on a Saturday morning. So on August 9th, I think it was. It's from 8:30 to 11-ish. It's just a one-day thing. They need a field with 2 goals and some lines. And it's open to the community. It's not just our club, it's anybody that wants to do it. So I put in a request to see if we can get that approved for that day. We already have, to what Eugene had said, we already rent the field Monday to Thursday. So we're just hoping to do it a one-day thing.
Can you spell your name, last name for the record?
Goddard, G-O-T-T-E.
Thank you.
are you gonna put the lines on the field?
Yeah, so we do that every year, so we take that out of our budget.
According to the policy, on Saturdays, it's can only be rented from noon until 5 p.m. So we would need a vote from the board to allow this special use.
All right, do I have a motion from the board to allow the use of the soccer fields on Saturday, August 9th from 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. for a training class?
I'll move. Second.
Moved by Thomas, seconded by McGuire. Any comments, questions, discussion?
Just one.
Yes, sir.
Will there be a parking issue? Has that been discussed?
Has there been a parking problem?
So normally we park to the east of the fire station, we pull cars up on the grass. If need be, we will communicate out. It should be just a drop off and leave event. But if there is parking needed, we will have people park off on the street, get all 4 tires off the road. But we should be.
Curious, and you know, if you have questions, I think you need to contact the police department and let them know what's going on.
Yeah, we anticipate probably 30-ish to 40, 45 kids, and again, either 13 to 17. So most of them will drop off, the parents won't stay for the 3 hours.
I usually walk down there, and when you guys have been having practices, there's never been a parking issue at all down there.
I was just asking.
Yeah, no, that's good. I'm glad you asked though, because I don't know how many people are, but yeah, that's, I mean, it's, if anybody's questioning it, I think it's fine.
put it on Kyle's radar in Public Works, so I know that's coming up, and then run it by the chief.
Historically, in the last 4 years, there's never been a problem. Or,
I'd be more than happy to put no parking signs up on the streets if you guys need to in neighborhoods, right?
yeah.
That's fine for 3 hours.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? So that up. Motion passes. Thank you, everybody.
One question about it is not discussing that, but why do we only have it from noon to 5? Like,
Probably to allow people to enjoy their weekends, mornings, without noise.
I can't remember.
Okay, all my soccer games used to be in the
It would have
morning.
been.
it's always gonna get out of the way for the day and you're done by noon.
Oh, you can check the minutes.
That's right.
There, I just don't, I don't remember what their concern was.
Is there, Mark, let me ask, is there a way to change, like, if we ever need?
Sure,
to
it's a
use it,
policy.
we can change it, okay,
Yes.
all right,
certainly.
This is
So
from
we do that
2014.
eventually.
okay. I was
Yeah,
just
so it's over 10 years old, so,
Yeah.
you know, times change.
Sergeant Jerry, would you mind grabbing the public comments, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. The sign up sheet.
Little bit of the-
You do there.
Dan, I noticed you on here. Would you still like to be on public comment?
Yeah, I just said one thing.
Okay, I'll-
So like I said, we do rent the fields, and usually they get mowed on Wednesdays, I don't know what the process is.
Kyle said it was no problem.
We'd like to switch that to Mondays, if we can do that for the public works, the only reason is because. When we practice Wednesday, Thursday, by the time it gets around to Monday, Tuesday, it's like, we need cows down there to get that grass. I don't know what the process is for getting this, if possible.
Do you want to talk to Kyle? And
Yeah.
this way you can specify exactly what you need or
Yeah,
whatever.
that would work perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, I have Ron Turner.
No, I'm gonna yield to that.
Oh, thank you. All right. Peter Vernon, please.
No walk and talk. One of the items on the agenda. And I know at this point, it's just the president and the road administrator that are gonna be doing the front end work on this to get support for building and zoning. But what I want to do is provide some additional tools for that process when you're evaluating candidates, and I know Ms. Detmer has significant experience and qualification on her resume, and I'm sure she's gonna give a lot of valuable input. But you can take the time to develop your own questions based on this. Now, the first section, A101 there is actually I gave somebody the wrong cup. No, I didn't. We're getting there. Did I run through it?
I didn't. Well, he's over, he's over.
Anyway. Our adopted code only has it doesn't include appendix A, which is outlining qualifications for various positions. And so that's why I offered that up to you. And then the other item there is by state statute, and plumbing inspections have to be done by an IDPH licensed plumbing inspector. Which that's a whole process in itself. For your apprenticeship, then you get to sit for that license, then you've got to work another 7 years, then you can sit for the inspector's exam. So you're looking for a real heavyweight on that one. And again, and this is partly, like I said, when I look through how our codes are written right now, it's a little sparse on when we talk about qualification. And it's so key, in these positions. To do the right thing for our community. So, I'll just try to give you another tool to use to move forward. I'm happy to talk to any of you about any of it at any time, at your convenience.
Thank you, Pete. Jean Tannhauser?
I'm gonna pass, but I would like to set up a meeting with you, so I will do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No further comments then? Thank you. All right, we're moving on to trustee reports, roads, parks and streets. Trustee Pinelli.
I've had some conversations with some residents of Sleepy Hollow Road regarding their concerns on our commitment as a village to Sleepy Hollow Road as a registered pleasure drive. A proposal was presented several years ago, but it wasn't acted on. I think that everyone received a copy of that proposal. But my suggestion would be, since it's come back up and residents are asking about it, for the purpose of serving, of preserving Sleepy Hollow Road, which I think most of us would agree is a unique part of this village. So I'm just asking if we could have this document, this proposal looked at to determine if there's things here that we can do to improve. If there's things that we are not able to do for whatever reason, that we communicate that in a forming process to the residents of the village, but you know, mostly residents of Sleepy Hollow Road that brought this forward.
Thank you, trustee Pinelli. So here, you and I had a few opportunities to talk about this. It does fall under your purview insofar as Sleepy Hollow Road is pleasure drive and the residents have reached out to you. We don't want to take that away from you, but now that we are engaging the Buildings and Environment Committee, I do think that the purview of it's going to fall under trustee Schatzberger at this point, because there's criteria within that committee that outline a tree advisory board, which is actually the board of trustees, where we can set forth guidelines on pruning, trimming, and stipulations for that. So if you don't mind, I think I'd like to transfer responsibility of that over to trustee Schatzberger. And also with respect to what you're talking about, the draft that was brought before the board, that was before my time, trustee Thomas and trustee McGuire. But the individual who was a trustee who helped draft that ordinance is actually a neighbor, and he sent it to me as well. So you and I are the only ones with copies of it at the moment. I'd like for it to be reviewed and then sent to the rest of the board for review and revisions. And then also I spoke to Mrs. Eaton, who was here at our last meeting, and I just spoke to her before this meeting. We'd like to have a roundtable with Rhonda, myself, I'm sorry, trustee Schatzberger and myself, and those residents who are concerned about the trimming of the trees on Sleepy Hollow Road, so that we can come up with a plan. Because they're not due back for tree trims for another 2 years. But as we're all learning, it takes time to get things done, so let's get a plan in place and move forward. So Mrs. Eaton, I'll reach back out to you. Bill, if you can forward any of your information, go ahead and forward it to Clerk Ree. And then she can forward it to trustee Schatzberger and myself, and then I will touch base with you. Okay. Does that sound good?
Will do.
Thank you. Also, I'm going to bring the chief in on that because he had some questions when ComEd was back to trim the trees. If it wouldn't be more prudent to do a different ordinance that would have more restrictions than the pleasure drive, the way that it's currently written. So we'll see what we can do to have something that's more enforceable. All right. If nothing else for roads, parks and streets.
No, I have quite.
I'd like to add one thing in for you as Killinger is not here. Part of the responsibility of president extends beyond the board meetings. I was out picking up a skunk and a rabbit off of Bonkowski Road. Also at the same time that Kyle and his crew were on the other end of Bonkowski picking up a skunk. So we got to know our live and not so live residents of the village. But if you guys see something, if it's in public area, that's something Public Works we can take care of. Notify the village. If it is on your property, lend a hand, double bag, dispose of it if you can. We do also have some critters around here who will dispose of it for you if you wanted to put it towards wooded areas. Yeah, please reach out, and honestly, I'm not squeamish with it, so I'd be happy to come and help and figure things out. No, it's weird, but I teach nature to kids and we discuss all sorts of things in that class. I won't even say it. All right, finance, trustee.
He's got more.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Be here till 11. There were a few other residents that have had some drainage issues that we've discussed it with Kyle and also with Jeff, so those are on our radar to be addressed. There's been some discussion regarding the road safety, and so there's gonna be a meeting between myself, Eugene and Chief and Kyle. And then the bike path that we talked about on McCoskey Road is still conversations with West Dundee even earlier today, so that's still alive. Then on the park side, the small playground has some issues that the small kid
Yeah.
playground has some issues that were identified. I think we'll be fine for a while, but it is 35 years old. And I anticipate that at some point, we're gonna have to make some changes, either amending, modifying the existing structure or replacing it. Or eliminating it, so just put it on the record.
Where's that, Bill?
The small children, and it's in Santino, there's two sets of playground equipment.
Okay.
The newest, and then there's another set that's about 30 years old.
When they updated the playground, the old little kid stuff, it was still decently usable.
The drainage issues, is that road drainage, like the shoulders of the roads or yards?
Culverts that end in people's yards. So
Okay.
once the culvert dumps out, it goes through people's yards, so. It's being addressed.
Yeah, I know also, not meaning to take things away from you, but I was just gonna say, I think drainage issues is specifically outlined under environment. And then road safety will touch base with trustee Diatley and the chief. They wrote, but yeah, we'll discuss. I just wanna make sure we're not crossing any boundaries with multiple trustees getting involved.
Okay.
All right. Drainage issues, road safety, bike path, parks and small children. Anything else, trustee Pinelli?
No, thank you.
Thank you. All right, trustee Hoff, finance.
Nothing from the finance side, from water and sewer, we had a water main leak on Stevens Court that was addressed last Friday. Nowhere than the cost. At this point.
A leak or a break?
It was last termed as a leak.
Okay.
It was,
There's a difference.
they got it done pretty quick, so I don't think it was too big. I haven't had a chance to talk to the guy since. So for
I think we're connected to the family joke.
June, we did not have any, and that'd be the first one for July. You haven't heard, have you?
Actually, I think that was on the warrants.
Already? You fixed it on Friday. That would be quick.
It was leak detection, 528 Stephen Court, $350.
All right.
Does it say the date of service?
Well, this one was 7/17.
That was school days, so.
That's right.
All right,
Thursday.
that's it then.
Yeah. Thank you. All
Not too bad. That's all I have. Thank you.
right, trustee McGuire, water and sewer.
No report.
Trustee Diatley, police and public safety.
No report tonight.
Trustee Schatzberger, buildings and environment.
I have no report, but I have finished my FOIA and Form A, so I will need to get the printed.
Yeah, or just download the certificate and send them both.
Send them to, okay, perfect.
Thank you. Jeff. And building and zoning trustee Thomas.
Just a couple things, when you're talking about taking stuff away and handing off to other people. I've been working with a resident, up on Hilltop regarding their drainage from, I believe you and Bill went and took a look at it, and they're still having some issues, so I happened to bump into them and they asked what the status was on what's being done with that, so.
Okay.
I think we really need to look into that, especially with all the rain we've had and stuff like that. We really need. So I don't know if that will fall under Bill, Rhonda, but somebody needs to be brought up to date with that.
Yes, this will shift over to Rhonda and trustee Schatzberger, and then I've spoken to Kyle as well as Jeff. We've had a few discussions about some of the problem areas we've found around the village. The one that you're discussing, we might be able to work with the mini excavator with Kyle and Jeff and do it ourselves with the residents. We just need to get a plan in place, get everybody on board and talk to all the neighbors.
Okay.
The three that are affected, so
All right.
thank you.
And
If you
then,
could forward any correspondence you have for that to Clerk Bree, so she can then forward it.
yeah,
to-
the only thing, it's the same stuff that I've sent to you prior. There's no more. I just was out walking and I ran into them, so they stopped and asked.
Dangerous to go walk.
It is. I walk every morning and
And everybody knows
you'd be surprised. And then the other thing, I just want everyone to know, I am attending in the next Park District meeting is Wednesday. That is not the pool aquatics, but I have been attending every Park District meeting. And they are keeping me up to date on certain things, so once I get more updates, I will let everyone know in regards to what they're talking about for a referendum for the Park District, what's gonna be included, and so on and so forth, so I'm not giving up yet, and they know it.
Yes, indeed. All right, that's done with the trustee reports. We are moving on to old business, which is the discussion and motion to approve employment. But if we'd like to have additional discussion, this would be the time to move to have executive session. All right, do I have a motion on the table to approve the employment agreement for the village administrator Eugene Van?
So moved, yeah.
Second.
Moved by Diatley, seconded by Thomas. Comments, questions, discussion?
Brief description, it's an employment agreement, recognizing not only the appointment, but then also the employment status of the village administrator. It sets compensation, describes his benefits. Sets just short of a 2-year term. For starters, would end at the end of the fiscal year, April 30 of 27. At its current status, doesn't mean there couldn't be a renewal or other discussion at that time.
Gives both of us flexibility.
So it, that's just a brief description of what's that agreement. You all should have seen the full.
Yeah, nothing's changed
For
from
the
discussion.
record, that's what it's about.
All right, if there's no further discussion, we have a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Cannelli,
Aye.
trustee McGuire.
Aye.
Trustee Schatzberger,
Aye.
trustee Diatley,
Aye.
trustee Hoff,
Aye.
trustee Thomas.
Aye.
All affirmative, no negative, the motion passes. I would just like to say this was in my speech from earlier. Just please join me in congratulating our very first Sleepy Hollow Village Administrator. All right, on that note, we're moving into new business. In which case, may I have a motion to move to executive session for discussion under the Open Meetings Acts 2C1, 2C3, and 2C21.
I'll move.
Second.
Moved by McGuire, seconded by Schatzberger. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Thomas,
Aye.
trustee Diatley,
Aye.
trustee Hoff,
Aye.
trustee Cannelli,
Aye.
trustee McGuire,
Aye.
trustee Schatzberger.
Aye.
All right, at this time at 8:28, we will pause the meeting. We will go into the conference room for executive session, and then we will return once we're done. Thank you. I do, yes. I thought we might need to. Good, sir.
That's right. I just feel. All right.
I'm not. I've been in meetings.
I'm gonna probably resign from that.
Okay, I haven't.
I've been on the finance role for 26 years.
We haven't.
It's just when things happen.
You know what I mean?
When I was younger,
I can't reach the camera until I stand up, so it's just.
So I don't see those guys. I'm ready, they're kind of.
Take care of it. This is
Oh, shit.
That's your recommendations.
Anything else?
That's not. Yeah, I don't like. It's a trustee position, it's just there.
Yes, I don't know why it's that. Yes, I know. Okay. Perfect. They would find so. Yeah. And it's just fine.
I wonder. Organization is very much. Because I said,
I know what. My grandson just got finished 2 weeks ago.
and we just chilled back from Elgin.
Oh, really? Yeah, they go to the same.
You know.
As you know, I believe you, man. Good, right.
You know, it's hard. You know, compared to if it was Sunday would be.
Or no, earlier, that was beer in town, I'll run into you. Well, then we're gonna do.
They're caught.
Then we drive by, go out, stop.
You can't really justify.
There's a place, I like. Place.
But there's a lot of sections where who's driving. So it couldn't show that really. It's nice there's. And also the agency or the village that.
Yeah, you store the outfitter. I'm always.
And I took one they keep that for us. Real should like it should be. This whole thing. What I read and
So, well, so what you do is now. And so they're, now on to the last time they get back to the other was.
Gotta go back, you see. Change over that back to percentage. Sure, right. The first one I did was
Cool night.
Oh, that's great. They'll be doing that now because somebody has a problem.
Right.
Reality is they'll still have to drive. And so why don't you think there's not the ability to really, I don't know, looking for this is. Sort of sleep. I'm with your competition. Let's just be, or it wants to invite something. Right, something with us. You know, they have a food truck.
Yeah. Crazy.
How's your hand up? Well. How's your hand here? What is that? What's tightening that? Sounds crooked. Oh, okay. Is it coming along?
Well, somehow, even in this, in the Ambassador's Day, the ring is fractured. It's like
So the left hand getting better?
I'm very good at.
There you go. Yeah, I like the second person.
Yeah, I can answer all. It is.
See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So they asked, how do I? So I took it. The first time I think.
Well, again.
Fine, you know what? Shannon, Victoria, everyone here. Turn our ears on like.
So I don't forget them all. There's one thing.
What else? You never guess. So surface academy faces. Sorry, yes.
I don't understand.
So he will.
Yes.
Well, that's.
Yeah.
I read it. It's not so good. Whoa.
That's about the.
You know, if you're a bit older, it's not a plumber. Switches on, I mean.
Yeah.
Unless you don't know.
Right.
As a suction.
Yeah, you can see the, yeah, you don't have good water, bad water. You get that wrong, the building. That can be a problem.
I know. It's like,
All of a sudden, it's like, it's easy to come. There's no.
This is how we do it. It's when it's. Because of. You're on a key radio station. It's just. How do they feel? Was great.
Why would you let her find your college? It's too late. They got those.
That's a little loose. That's tradition. Yeah, that's another tradition.
I know, it was like this.
That's short.
Oh, it's like your chest. It's been like that. No, but now we're not walking for that.
Understand that.
No.
Today, who's you someone? Today.
So that's.
It's 99 cents.
Oh, really? But, and now they're taking it out.
I think it's 99 cents.
Girl, we spent they came out in a day.
Oh.
They're not.
Well, the theme of it.
Yeah.
I go into markets. But his needs are.
Going through.
So I started going to cash box. I started going there and saying, okay, can you guys help me? So I tell them, no, 2 years.
Let's see.
I'm on. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's. Now, it's like we're the last 2 years. What are you? Is what the different chip. And
Yeah.
But a good part. I don't know work you got. Or we work together. And I'm not gonna scare you. It's on.
I'm Jason, I'm like.
He was like, he's like. I'm just.
So.
But, I don't have to be elected.
So let's go on. Maybe subdivision. Because I know.
We realize you got. So you got the if you're up on the ground, you should have shut. You're in the low wave. You're well, yeah, but there's so many. And you don't really know. Yeah, I'm not, yes, yeah, it should be 50 years, it could be longer. And the house and the open money.
Don't worry, you lost them.
It's all right. Sit down.
The next time.
No, you didn't.
School training. And again, even if it's a negative, that's a lot of remediation, all that out. There was. Well, you know, you needed. There was a special. Because his mother. They want his mother to deal with themselves. And he said, I'll pay for the year's deal. Anybody who looks up. I did reimbursement like plus. And the property was good. It's always words. Right. And the way it is. From when he put it in. Here's his 10 years later, they can't.
Yeah.
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 I got on the phone, the guy who looked at it. I mean, he's ready to pay the connection to me and. But in Jesus Christ. Yeah, sure. So you get. And he got hooked up. Yeah, they weren't on that one. Guys.
That was a leading question.
Very, very.
Which was one of the places spend it. Actually.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
No, that's right. Yeah.
Let's just put.
Pay the penalty or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
I said someone was.
No, you can find that.
Someone.
Worst of stuff you just.
Well, leave it. What's new? I noticed that.
Just so much of that stuff.
Was the other dog.
Yeah, this stuff is interesting.
Similar?
Ever since I learned.
Nice fracture.
Like,
And all that.
I see. Yeah, I believe that was so-
Actually, all of it, the food about
Gotta get that out of town.
Yes.
Thank you.
One of my great.
Glad that she wants to be.
Stuff.
It helps.
Yeah.
Go back over it.
Right, right, you know, that's something.
It still wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't helping.
Yeah.
Ah, wait.
I'm lucky I don't have this. Well, taking the graduates.
Should I say nothing to
Right.
Yeah.
Right, going to find the water.
So.
Or just-
No, but,
Oh, he was here.
Then we're back.
I used to live over by.
They said.
On, Tree Oaks Road, Exeter.
So. They took big pictures.
Gary, yeah.
When you put grade six in that. Trustee. It's just a cast.
Yeah, it's supposed to be held shooter.
But it's some good stores.
No.
She gets.
You guys wait out.
Depends on the single people.
I was literally
Uh,
the tree that is Buddha
Okay, you're
in
sitting.
my backyard.
There's a talk about.
So when the sun comes through,
Okay, just a joke.
this is our branches.
Again, there's-
Starts the.
For the.
Yeah.
And I've,
So it's also public judgment.
So I.
Chanel, there's a-
Thing doesn't. We make sure.
She had to do a couple steps back and see the joke. And one of these.
Yeah. those are-
Here.
On the site, there was a ladder laying down, but she was walking backwards to look at something. They said, oh, nothing, I didn't, she worked.
Yeah, I didn't know she thought she put the bones up here, that's in the length they were on.
I said, wow.
Okay.
And somebody's executive session. There's a lot of hot air out here, and imagine how bad it is here. 24 years you could deal with this.
That's. Oh, okay. You don't normally count that often.
Yeah, but.
Some kind of the. Something came up and was like out of the restaurant.
I don't think Scott's. She's.
Yeah, one of the issues or anything like that. I was like, okay, yeah, we gotta bring up that, check it, check.
Yeah, I was.
I'm not gonna fault you.
I saw the agenda, but I have to be here today. So,
Name all of that.
yes.
Each primary was my family.
Like, I don't want to close the picture. Really down.
My friend.
Oh, God.
Second time taking storage a problem.
So there's.
Fire back.
Living in the last 20 years.
For the easy.
There's still on preliminary, it's. Yeah. A lot of it.
So she went.
We're, you know,
Is that what I?
That's what all it is.
Looks like, you know, I understand.
Yeah. New houses. It's at homes. Well, it's my homestead. Yeah, well, this is something that 25, 30 years ago.
You got a national somebody.
I live in her home. She doesn't. I live in her.
Hold that up. I want to count the street, because that's what the rains are. Because I'm not a
All right, I'm on gas papers.
Yeah.
I got no shaving kit.
Well, that's. We should be. Yes.
Anybody driving?
So I'm probably like.
My driveway.
By the grace of God.
Oh.
Day we go in 2005.
When I got here. Chief.
Oh, this is 2005.
So, yeah, I mean, the trick is to know where to go.
Supposed to go.
No,
It's supposed to go. My house. Because there's this stream down there, you know, on Joy.
Yeah.
It goes down, there's that stream. Everything.
Oh, she asked them, I. And I had it out.
Never got water.
Right, sounds totally right at foot of the.
Actually, some.
We're basically reinstate language and she took. So. When she.
Oh.
Reinstate.
Williams Bay. There was literally like rivers.
Yeah.
Somebody's down.
Oh, my.
And I have a 30-foot front.
Yeah, but it's.
It's about 20 feet.
Yeah, you could take them on, they leave with friend.
No one.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
I never really paid attention. There was a curb in there.
Yeah, the, yeah.
And I
Yeah.
never saw-
No, you got to- Yes, yeah, in our side.
Somebody else.
And it was unspoken, I hear just.
That's down the farm. Well, thank you. The farm.
Yeah.
Oh, we've known that piece in there.
Yeah, but it's a full.
Actually, friends, and they were funny, they just funny. All of the huskies. Then when, yes. Went to a chain, said, okay, but here's, you gotta take care of the stormwater, you gotta do this.
Right.
Well, we'll do it. Isn't. It's a shovel, dirt.
Well, and also. There's no secret accurate records, so that when stuff does change, they gotta back and figure this, fix this.
It's a caddy corner from the original part. Yeah, yeah. You need to get your stormwater out to the brush.
Right.
That's a real. Hey, it's along the way, you know what? There's an inlet right across the street from us, can we try to get this? Oh, sure, go ahead. Now this all their stormwater has.
Please.
I go.
Why?
That's the measure, man, you gotta fix this. You know, they just know, that's. And then turn.
There's only that chair.
The urban land belongs to the village. The right behind it belongs to Mr. Vernon.
Yeah.
And they have no responsibility.
That's the night one.
Okay, I should all take care of it. Come tomorrow, about tomorrow. So we're talking.
Yes.
Oh, no, you don't wanna do this. Okay, if I hadn't do anything, you're supposed to leave. I said, I have offered you a way to just run a new line across. You don't have to take his eye, this will address the whole issue.
Right.
Are you using this?
No.
They don't like it when you come in. I've already looked into this. I don't think you always know.
Yeah.
I've already lined up, I'm going to get this, so.
I got your word, and I always got to official.
So you're not saying like.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, please switch. They can have more switch. Let's see, switch it to a feeling. Here, so I'll sit it this.
Like recently, chicken sandwich. Oh, back in the day.
That's different. Yes, I don't. That would be another story, I'm just kidding, yeah. I didn't have that out of my yard, I had 9 man. So it's no, again, when we go to. Oh, I hope I've seen that.
Wait, so the one person who is the last bit?
The shoes.
I drive over there, they're not.
Whoever loses. You two do it.
No, you two.
They can- No, me.
No. Oh, yeah.
I had that kind of.
Wait, but then why is it, why are you guys?
And I forget what practice first, so I can somebody.
Honestly, the fair. I don't want to play her here.
Okay, no.
Yeah, I'll play the fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to see. If she wanted.
But I don't think so.
Yeah, you're playing the game. That's why. That's not fair. Her birthday. No, my friend, she's.
But also, that's not a reason. Yeah, that's.
He didn't want me. She's really seven.
So she has one, right?
Livestock. Not along.
Right.
If you wanna ask for their answer.
Yeah.
You're welcome to do.
Okay, so.
Come down, take a look. Okay, $150 and we'll get you a special guarantee of result.
Where's Craig? Why can't you just say that?
Yeah. So I guarantee that it's okay.
There's a- Yeah. They were gone in, in a couple of hours.
You know, I know people are so, they say, they can have chickens there.
That's not true.
As far as I know, yeah. So I got a friend who lives there, a couple of friends who live there. But there's things that we can, I think it's very first.
Probably.
Thursday,
No.
I got my neighbors next to me.
And then so.
She's trying to take over. So she's now planted on my. You know, you got the property line, but what is it, a 3 foot on both sides, total 6 foot, so you took.
Eastern has nothing to do with. Eastern is.
What that does is
Exactly. Yeah, that's just their use.
well, or city,
Right.
they need to listen. And so, I mean, allow you to go, so you can't plant. Obviously, you get permission from the village or some towns to plant something, planting everything out. So,
Yeah.
I think so. You got property line.
Yeah, I told my
This was, but that way, that's the right.
It's usually
Use. I don't know.
No, no.
They're the utility. Fully into one side of the. Okay. So it's just, I don't know, that's what it is. That's the property line.
This is, yeah, my back is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a long to the face.
So, yeah.
That's why.
They were completely things.
Are you guys hungry? I gotta finish up my meeting, but you can order food, but order me food too. But I just ordered pizza. The pizza will shout out. You guys walk or ride bikes? No, I don't. Walk or ride bikes? Yeah. I do bikes. Just wait, you'll be done in about 10 minutes and I don't want you to go back to the bus. Okay. And then alone. Yeah. Oh, I get that all the time.
Yeah.
It takes forever. Yeah.
All right, folks, we're gonna resume the meeting.
2-3 hours, yeah.
I'm gonna resume the meeting at 9:08, please. Can I have a motion to resume the meeting?
I'll move.
Second.
Moved by McGuire, seconded by Diatley. Roll call vote. Oh, comments, questions, or discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Hoff,
Aye.
Trustee Kelly.
Aye.
Trustee Schatzberger. Aye. Trustee Thomas.
I,
Trustee McGuire.
Aye.
Trustee Diatley.
Aye.
All opposed, no, all affirmative, no opposed, motion passes. Thank you. Can I have a motion to review and approve the executive session minutes from July 7th and July 11th
Are we doing this?
separately? July 7th, please.
I'll move.
Ms.
Second.
Moved by Schatzberger, seconded by Thomas. Any comments, questions, discussion for the minutes of July 7th, the executive session? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, no opposition, motion passes. We have a motion for approval of executive session minutes dating July 11th, 2025.
So moved, Diatley.
Second.
Moved by Diatley, seconded by McGuire. Any comments, questions, discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? No opposition, all approved, all in favor, motion passes. As for item 14B, there is no action sought on that matter. And we are done with new business.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion by McGuire, seconded by Schatzberger. Comments, questions, discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And I bring some information for you all these.
Pause.
Due to structural changes, they're redesigning the interior layout of 1001.
Oh, all right, an update, thank you. All right, so on that note, all in favor say aye. All opposed, none, we are adjourned, thank you.